Good morning. I've just climbed a big hill to get out of the gloom that's been surrounding us all morning, and in fact for a number of days now. So I'm trying to pick my rides carefully and nipping out when we've actually got some chance of decent weather. So it's the first bit of sun I've seen for many days. Anyway, I digress. This week I'm going to show you how to plan a ride like a pro. So I warned you about 2 weeks ago this video was en route, and see what I did there. But that's completely put me off now, as is this fog. Anyway, I thought some of you might be quite interested to see how I plan my rides and how we get to see such glory as 6 crap castles in one ride. Well, this is the planning process that I did for that ride, so I hope you enjoy it. Actually, a couple more things before I get stuck in. I use a combination of Garmin Connect, which is the proprietary software for Garmin bicycle computers. It's a really good route planning tool. I also use Google Maps, Strava, sometimes Apple Maps, Wikipedia to get some interesting facts about the places that we're looking at, and also sort of town hall information for details about the interesting things that are in their towns and villages. But for every ride, what I try to do is to make a loop, because then you're not seeing the same thing twice, albeit from a different direction. I also try and plot in an escape route to make the ride shorter if something goes wrong, like a mechanical problem with your bike or a physiological problem with yourself, or just not having the mojo, whatever. It's a good idea to try and plan an escape clause, a slightly shorter route if needs be. The other thing I would say about planning routes is don't be too optimistic early on. If you can ride 30 kilometers, that is fantastic. It means you can ride 50 kilometers. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do it. But if you've climbed, say, 300 meters maximum in a ride, don't suddenly think you can do 1,000 meters. At least go and have a ride where you've got 500 and 750 climbing before trying 1,000. That's just my advice.
So, first I go into Garmin Connect. Once you're in Garmin Connect, you need to press the little Z squiggle, second one down on the left. If you see that, there. That brings up this link here. What we're looking for is training and planning on the left, in the middle. Click on that, and 1, 2, 3, fourth down is courses. Click on courses, and that brings up all the courses that I've currently got planned for my little bit of Spain. I want to create a course, so middle bottom in blue, create a course. You select a course type, and it's road cycling for me. I'm going to leave it as a custom drawing method, and I'm going to continue. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in on the area that I want to ride in, if I can remember where I'm going to go, the start. Now, I thought I'd start in the tiny little town of Alcano. Now, the purple lines are routes that have been ridden by other Garmin users. The darker the purple, the more they're used. It's quite a good indicator that a ride is interesting or possible, I suppose. So I'm going to look at Alcano. I'm going to select a starting point. I'm going to start right there. Now, it's fairly obvious that I need to come out south. Now, there's two possibilities. One is actually has got a numbered road on it. So I'm going to stick with that. Let's see where it goes. Okay, it goes to Granyena de las Garrigues. So let's go there. So the next waypoint, I'll pop in there.
Lots of hunters about today as we climb up into La Granyena de las Garrigues.
There's the town itself. Now at this point I normally look to see if there are interesting things marked on the map, whether it's a castle or a church or something like that. I'm not seeing anything there. Okay, so let's carry on this road. To Soleras. Soleras has an ermita, which might be interesting. Might be worth noting that down, seeing if it's worth riding up to. But in any case, I think we'll, at the very least, we'll cycle through town. So we'll go to there and have a little look around. So we're going to have a look and see how we're doing. Okay, we've got up to about 10 kilometres. I'm going to look to do a loop east and then to the north. So let's try this road here. Let's just see where it goes. It goes to L'Albagés.
Hoving into view is Albagés.
Again, I'm now looking to see if there's anything interesting around. We'll bring the route over closer. So we're up to 20 kilometres now. There's not a lot on, is there? There's not a lot on. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but in the centre of the picture is a faint wandering line. It starts at this point here. Now, this isn't on Google Maps because I've already checked. Oops. And I'm intrigued by it. All these other roads go directly over the top of it. Now, I think that is a brand new road. I'm going to actually put in the whole of that road as a possibility. So I'm going to click there and see if it's a nice, interesting or brand new road. It's a nice new tarmac. Now that looks interesting. Santa Maria de las Peces. So we'll say we're going to go there. And then we'll continue our ride. Sometimes it takes a little while to load. To Serbia de las Garrigues. Why not? So, I don't know whether to go through town. Yeah, I'll be a bit bored of open spaces. Let's click about there and see what route it takes. Yeah, it's got me coming straight through town. So we'll do that. And then we'll head off out of town up there. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to... Okay. Well, there's another route that comes off the marked road just there. So this is one that could be gravel. So we're going to click on it. And then later we're going to go and have a look on Google Earth, Google Maps and Street View and see if someone's actually recorded what that looks like. Sometimes you just have to have a look from the junction. So say if someone's got a street view which goes along this road that goes from the where it says 34 and then continues as a purple line, that's a marked road. That is a numbered road. So somebody would have done a street view of that. So we can look at the junction at least and see if it's gravel or tarmac.
I think this is our turn again, quick. Yes, it is. Okay. This is another road I was quite excited about. Oh dear. It says the surface is in bad condition. Not a good start, is it?
Anyway, we'll leave it in for now. Let's see where that goes. Now, I'm only following the purple line because that is a popular route. It might be popular with gravel riders, who knows? There's not a lot on it, and it goes all the way to Castelldans. Right, well, I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to do with Garmin Connect. So we're just going to jump forward a bit to make it go a bit quicker. Go back anywhere. Let's go to El Cogul. Ah, yes, we'll go to El Cogul. Cogul. because just outside town I know that there is, and it's not even marked on here, see where all those little cars are? That is a museum for a cave painting which is thousands of years old. So we'll go and have a look at that. Now we can either go to Asper, or we can go, could go straight back. What are we up to now, kilometres wise? 57. I think, well, let's click here and see what it's up to by then. 66. That means about a 67 kilometre ride. That sounds perfect. So I'm going to, on the menu to the left, underneath undo is loop to start. That just finishes off the ride for you and brings it to the end. Right, so we've got a profile now, the green line, squiggly line. That looks pretty lumpy. Now what I've noticed with this app, it tells me that the total ascent is going to be 925 metres of climbing, which is a fair old bit. It's also always underestimated. So that will be probably around maybe 1,050 or 1,100 metres of actual climbing when I get to the road. I don't know why it does it. It always does it. And there's also one, two, I'm looking at the green squiggles now. That looks like one big climb at the beginning. And then one, two, really only two other proper climbs. The rest are quite small. So that looks like rolling, which I love. So we're going to go for this. So I'm going to save it. We're going to call it, where is this? Alcano. I'm going to save it as Alcano loop. Let's call it Alcano loop 1 in case I decide that it needs to be changed. We'll save that. And what we're going to do now is go to Google Maps. So open up the app. We want to go to Alcano. Oh, there he is. Right, so now we're in Google Maps and we're in Alcano. So I use Google Maps. I use it to look for interesting things, and I use it to have a look at the actual roads that we'll be cycling along, to see if they are asphalt or gravel, or to see if they're horribly steep, or if we've got a dodgy junction that I want to have a look at before I actually get there on the road. So this already looks vaguely interesting because Alcano has got an escape house. So I'm going to research the Manoir escape house. I can click on it and get an idea of what it's about. It's an escape room. I've never done them. I'm going to research that. I'm going to note that down, research it, and we'll probably go there in the video. Right in the centre of town, there's also a castel. Well, I've got to say, I'm a bit disappointed. That's a house, not really a castle. Don't think we'll be going there. What a disappointment. Castle of Alcano. Crap castles on the road to Aida, number 1. What a disappointment. So, we said we were going to leave on this numbered road here, the L700. Well, let's go and have a little look to see what it looks like. If you keep your finger depressed on a point on the map, if there's a street view on it, it'll come up on the left-hand side as a picture, and there it is. You can click it, and you can see that I'll be in some of the dullest country we've ever been to. Oh, I hope it gets better than that. Anyway, it's a proper road. Looks a bit muddy. You do have to take these with a grain of salt, because if you look on the left, underneath where it says L700, it says that this image is 9 years old. So, it might not look like that anymore. Here's the first town. So it's got an eremita, so we can have a look at that, see if that's interesting. It isn't. Oh, I like old stuff. Now, some of you might like new stuff. Well, no. There's another escape room. What are the chances of that? How odd. Now, sometimes it's nice to know what a town looks like before. Other times it's nice just to go and have a look. Well, yeah, I think we can give that a miss. That's right. And then we came to Albagues. Now that's got a castle as well. Oh, there is. Oh. It's not really inspiring. We'll have a look. We'll have a look when we're there. Not massive. Any escape rooms? No, thank goodness. And then this was where there was the squiggly road with cuttings, etc. on it. And overlaid are the original roads. Now, what you can do with Google Maps, top right corner in the white circle, the various layers you can put over the top. Now, in this white pop-up, bottom right is Street View. Click that, and it will tell you, and close that down now, it will tell you where there is actual street views of the roads. Now, that looks odd to me. Let's click it. Here it is. It's a 6-year-old road. 6 years old. Ah, that's interesting. So the reservoir really is quite new, because the street view right from the middle of the lake is probably of the original road. There it is. They flooded this. So this is all now underwater. Oh, that little house. It's underwater. But what we did have along here, there it is, the Santa Maria de las Beces. Oh, and another castle. Now we were going to go here. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what a hermitage should look like. Built in 1265. Uh-huh. There you go. You probably can't see a thing. Yeah. Yeah, why not? There's not much else on this road, is there? This is the road that I was a bit concerned was gravel. Let's find out. It's not. Look at that. That is going to be completely devoid of cars. And that's what we like. That's a 6-year-old. It won't be a little... It's a 6 years old, so it's not particularly fabulous quality, but those cracks will be a bit bigger. Oi, oi, oi. Pretty shocking. Oh, hell. We can take this road. And is it interesting now? Now there's Castel Dans. We're going to go into the centre. Plaza Catalunya. Let's see if we're going to be under or overwhelmed. It's got a bar. Well, yeah, it's got 2 bars. It'll do. We're going there anyway. Don't complain. I do this every ride. Honestly, I do. I love all this. I love maps. Yeah, that's a perfectly good road. So there's a junction there. Looks needlessly complicated, doesn't it? Have a quick look. So I'm spinning round. So, that is... Oh, look at that. 13 years ago, that was beautiful new tarmac. 13 years? It's been 13 years. Do you know what? That is not correct, because these lanes, and I'm looking at the photo on the left, these lanes painted in red, they've only just started doing that in the last year to make it more apparent. They're for filtering into the main road or off of the main road. So that isn't a 13 years old photo. That is a new photo, and I bet if we zoomed in, yeah, it's got red on the the satellite images are usually much more up to date, probably only a year or so old at the most. Anyway, and off we go to El Cogul. There it is. And then the bit that I already knew about was this place. Perhaps I shouldn't show you. The Roca dels Moros. And there it is. They shut early. I made it with 8 minutes to go. That looks quite new, 9 years ago. Ah, that is gravel. Okay, this little access road's going to be gravel. That's fine, we can do that. I hope it's not as cloudy as that tomorrow. I think it will be. El Cogul. It's got a castle. Oh, look at that. Isn't that fascinating? It's half a wall. Do you know I could do this as a ride of all the failed castles? What, we've had 3, 4 castles and they all look naff. Yeah, we will. We're going to go to all of these crap castles. Okay. And that's our route done, I think, isn't it? Back to town, Alcanol. Lovely. Right, next into Strava. We want to check if there's any segments, just to see if there's anything untoward, I think. That's how I do it anyway. If you go into Explore in the centre top, and then Segment Explore, you can use a map to move around and find, well, in this case, find where we're going to be riding tomorrow. What was it called again? It is somewhere, wasn't it? Alcano, there it is. And it will pop up with segments that exist. I think this is going to be, from the profile we had, nothing too difficult at all. Or is this? It's brutal. So there's a segment there. It's called Graniena Climb. We'll be doing that. So let's click on that and view details. And it comes up with a profile of that segment. There it is. And if you click anywhere on the profile, it will tell you what the percentage is. So at the end it's 6.7, and further down 4s, 5s, 7. It looks quite even, so sometimes these are just of a tiny little spot. But you get an impression by clicking up it. There was an 8. It tells you overall at the top here that it's right at the very top. It's an average of 4.5%, which is fine, easy. Yeah, so we don't need to worry about that one. So back to the map. That's about as much as you need to see. You zoom in and out to get the segments to appear on the route that you're going to take, and then you click on them to see if it's going to be a ruddy nightmare or not.